What's up, guys?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So, we are on nutritional deficiencies, and we thought yesterday that we wrapped up vitamin C. But surprise! We're going to hit you with it again today because I had a very interesting afternoon, evening yesterday in regards to vitamin C. So I won't use names here, but we do have a staff member here at the company who was recently diagnosed with I think it's a rare form of skin cancer. Okay. And it's DFSP. And DFSP stands for dermatofibrosarcoma.
That's
if I said that right.
Mouthful right there.
It's a long word. So anyways, on the heels of us kind of wrapping up yesterday, he actually had an appointment yesterday morning, follow-up appointment. You know, how are they going to treat? What are they going to do? And I had a quick conversation with him. He kind of updated me on what was going on, and it sparked I wonder. So I go back to my desk, and I Google high-dose vitamin C DFSP. Right? And several articles come up. The very first one was kind of a shallow dive into high-dose vitamin C on a variety of cancers, right? Okay. That came from, what is this? What is this? This is the National Libraries of Medicine for the National Institute of Health. High-dose vitamin C for cancer therapy, right? So I kind of read that, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested. I scroll down a little more, and this article comes up from the Scientific and Academic Publishing of sapub.org, another science journal, right? A dermatofibrosarcoma case report. Did intravenous doses of vitamin C help in his treatment? So, long story short, this was a 25-year-old gentleman in Puerto Rico that had the same thing, DFSP, on his arm. Okay. And they treated him 2 doses a week for 4 weeks of 25,000 milligrams of intravenous vitamin C. Okay. The cancer turned benign, shrunk, and the tentacles pulled in. So in 4 weeks of vitamin C treatment, it appears, I don't want to use the word cure. I don't know enough about cancer or anything. But I think when a tumor goes from malignant to benign, that's good. Pretty big deal.
That's a pretty big deal.
Right?
Yep.
So I shared this information with our staff member. He's doing his own due diligence, reading up, blah, blah, blah. So maybe, depending on what he decides to do, there will be a circle back at some point.
That'd be interesting.
But that's really his decision. I just tried to, hey, here's some stuff, go read it, and he's a smart cat.
We got several of these going on, kind of like simultaneous experiments, if you will. But no, there's definitely something to this. And you and I were having a conversation earlier about literally, the body, they don't know how many thousands of years or multiple of thousands of years or millions of years where the body used to be able to synthesize its own vitamin C and now has stopped doing it. Dogs do it. Cats do it. The donkey is weirdly one of the ones that does it at some of the highest levels. And it's just like, I keep going back to why are we not producing our own vitamin C, but these other animals are doing it? And I think you kind of alluded to it. Did somewhere along the way our diet really get out of whack to where it basically just shut it down? I mean, we talked about the Inuit tribe before and how they had survived on whale and seal and blubber and
polar bear
and fish and everything else, and they ate it raw.
Yeah.
Is it something we're doing in cooking? Is there now they were getting some vitamin C, but I mean,
very little.
How much vitamin C do you get from whale blubber? I mean,
and they had access to some berries,
right?
But it was only a couple months out of the year. I guess it was Greenland is where the Inuit
Well, they're really the Eskimo, I guess, in a large. So they're really the same type of people, from what I read, as Arctic, South Pole. It doesn't really. You pick the location. It was cold and nothing grew. Right. So I mean, it goes back to. I know they say this is a gene, and this went through evolution, and it got shut off somewhere along the way, and it doesn't. And I alluded to maybe it got shut off by viral activity yesterday, and now I'm going. I wonder if this darn thing is just dormant.
Yeah, it might be. I guess evolution. That's a whole nother deeper.
It is.
What did your ancestors eat?
They didn't eat crap, for starters. I mean, That's like, look at this. And we were talking about it just earlier with Jerry of like, all right, vitamin C gummies, not to throw you under the bus, Jerry, but vitamin C gummies. And, I mean, how many grams of sugar do they come with that, right? And sugar's been known to remove ascorbic acid, vitamin C from the system. Right there along with smoking. So the typical American 2 sodas and, Burger King and, Wheaties and Frosted Flakes and all of this crap that we eat, how much sugar do they get? That basically strips the body of any vitamin C that they had in there at all, and they weren't getting enough to begin with. It's like a snowball effect.
Right. So to wrap up my day yesterday, right, I actually have a family member who was recently diagnosed with mesothelioma.
Yay!
That's a bad one. Right. Historically, that's a bad one. It's aggressive. It grows fast.
Wasn't there a big asbestos thing with the?
Yeah, that's same one. This is the cancer that comes from at least one source is asbestos. Right.
Okay.
So, what do? I Google.
Listen.
High dose vitamin C mesothelioma. Same experience happens. All of the top articles are on point, relevant. I just brought a couple of them. So this one was from Science Direct. High dose of ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C, induces cell death in mesothelioma cells.
Yep.
It kills it.
Kills it dead.
I don't know if it can kill it fast enough.
DED.
I'm no expert, but the conclusion was that, yes, there are positive benefits. These data suggest that ascorbic acid may have benefits for patients with mesothelioma. I don't know how you say may have, because it
either does or it doesn't.
Right.
Kind of had a positive effect.
Another article here from, again, the National Library of Medicines, I believe is how it is. It's a deep dive into the potential for vitamin C intravenously treating mesothelioma and a bunch of other cancers.
Right.
So, of course, the way the evening played out, I have 2 aunts. One's the older of the 2. She's the one that has been diagnosed recently. And I go to my other aunt, and I go, I want to call, but I don't want to purvey in false hope or
it's touchy.
Be distracting.
It's
because I can't imagine what it's like to deal with that type of information.
And many people trust their doctor with everything they got.
And I'm not saying she shouldn't, right? She's actually she's in a town with a great research hospital, probably one of the best research hospitals in the country.
But you know what research hospitals do? They make money.
I get it. So I shared it with my younger aunt, and she was like, call her. She needs to have this information. So I felt good about calling up and going,
that's good.
I'm not a kook. I'm going to give you some information so you can read about it yourself, because it's cheap. It appears to potentially be effective. It's easily accessed. And if nothing else, there's a ton of other benefits from vitamin C.
And for the record, Scott and I we're the people with the closed minds. If we saw us the way we see or talking right now, we'd be saying, these two ding-dongs are kooks.
Quack.
But, I mean, I read a journal somewhere or heard it, and the guy says the greater the objection, the greater the awakening. And that's really what – the smaller the objection, the smaller the awakening, right? So you can tell how passionate I am and you are about this topic. We were entrenched in our beliefs of this is the way it was.
Right.
Now we're like the other way around. It's like, holy crap. It's like somebody took the blinders off.
Yeah. And I think more and more people are starting to get it. In talking to my aunt and introducing this information, she was telling me that my cousin has gone full carnivore because she dealt with, was it gastrointestinal, I think she was dealing with. And she started through food elimination and has landed on carnivore. She's not even eating vegetables anymore. And I think a lot of people are waking up to, garbage in, garbage out type of understanding, and that we can, in large part, treat ourselves at least better.
Right.
And not just pour gasoline on the dumpster fire that is our food supply.
Yeah. Well, even worse, you take one medicine to start symptoms, and then you take another medicine to fix those symptoms that started. Again, getting back to what we talked about with the gateway drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, vitamin C is really weird. It's looked at, is it an antiviral? Is it an antitoxin? Is it an antibiotic? I mean,
right.
It's got superpowers.
Well, and so that the viewer knows, we are fully in. You and I both have bought supplements.
I started yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday I took about 7,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and I got to tell you,
pea orange?
Like ultraviolet green, like radioactive material came out. But I got to tell you, I was driving in the car and I'm like, man, my skin looks better. It's like more vibrant. And maybe I'm reading into it. It's day one.
Placebo effect, who knows?
Placebo effect. I'm like spidey senses. I'm like aware of everything. Clear head, sharp as a tack. And I guess it's got me thinking.
Yeah, I guess my point in that is, while we are going to try and close out vitamin C today,
we're going to come back
this
around.
Is not the last time we're going to talk about it.
No.
We'll both report back of anything we learn.
We got spouses, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, cousins, uncles.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start to demonstrate and look at these and categorize them and see what happens. And we're going to come back and report. And I'll report good or bad. I don't.
Of course.
The old saying is, right? You can be wrong, just don't stay wrong.
Yep.
Yep.
And unlike most people that comment on this stuff, we don't have a dog in the fight.
No.
It's just what's best.
Right.
What can we find that helps? So, all right. Questions, comments, concerns, hate mail, love letters. Hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
Stay moving.
See you.
Take your vitamin C.